The topic of this video is how to protect our energy, and in this video I'm going to share exactly 7 ways how to do that. The first way how we can protect our energy is to pay attention to our environment that we are currently in. And environment involves often other people, places, situations, conditions. So it's a huge element. Now, often huge part of our environment is people that we are surrounded. So we have to pay attention to what type of people we attract, what type of interactions we're having with these people. Are we having conversations that involve drama, that involve negativity, stress? And it's good to pay attention especially to what we are saying to others that triggers others into negativity. For example, it could be when we share our vision, when we share our goals, our dreams, our choices, our perspective, that can also trigger others into reactive mode, into negativity, denying, naysayers. So we have to really have discernment with whom we're going to share this, whom we can trust, who won't try to pull us down. Another thing regarding people is that we also have to realize that people will project their own unresolved negative stuff onto others that comes from their wounds, that needs to be healed. And so we don't have to accept their projections onto us. And sometimes their projections can trigger us into also our own negativity or our own painful reaction. That is a good mirror indication which allows us to become aware, this type of thing still is within my energy field that needs to be healed. Okay, thank you for that. And you move on. When it comes to engaging with people, we're all connected to the collective energy field, collective conscious, so sometimes our interaction between one another, often it happens also on unconscious level between our own energy fields, our chakras engage with each other, and that can also stimulate an unconscious response from another, or even give us some suggestions to say certain thing to other person that can also trigger them. And at the first moment we might not even realize, why did I say that, or why did I do that? That's also our unconscious part that's at play. So when we have these impulses, these urges to speak to people in a particular way, to say a specific thing, it's also a good idea to observe where is this coming from, if we are able. Because, at least for myself, I have noticed that there is part of me still within me that is urging me to engage in drama, to like provoke others, or to provoke certain response from others, this part of me, within me, that wants drama, or that wants to feed on that. And so this part will send me certain suggestions. Go do that, say that to that person, in order to provoke them. Yeah. So yeah. And when I notice that, it's like, when I observe that, I have ability to say no to that. It's like, I see you, because I have free will and I don't want to get myself dragged into like lower states of vibration because of this. So yeah, this type of drama can come from, again, from different places, again, unhealed parts, wounds, even belief systems that we have to suffer, yeah, or we deserve to suffer. So this can also be worked on. So yeah, being careful with communication with others, because we definitely want to avoid conversations that lead to nowhere, or they run in circles, which is very draining, because both sides want to like prove themselves or prove to other that they are right, yeah, which comes from insecure ego, the need to be right, which is very draining, and oftentimes like sparks resistance in other, and then it's like can stir up anger and other unneeded, unnecessary response, which can attract, again, like more negativity. So way number 2, how we can work on improving our energy, our state of being, is paying attention to our own beliefs, especially limiting beliefs, and our own emotions and feelings, especially the ones that are in a lower vibration, because those are also part of attraction. They serve as attraction mechanism to things that are lower in vibration, and often things that we don't desire to have and manifest and experience, but they are still in our energy field. That's why we need to work on them and release them. Now, when it comes to our emotions, our feelings, they are always indicating our own internal truth, which is valid. It's always valid. So instead of suppressing it and denying it, we engage with it, and we observe, and we ask ourselves, okay, what is this? What is behind this emotion? Like, why am I feeling it right now? Like, what stirred it up? Like, what triggered it? What is it? And often it's some sort of unmet need that triggered this response. And so then, okay, we need to then work on meeting our unmet need, so we can release this emotional charge from our field. We can transmute it, we can transcend it. And besides working our needs, of course, we can use different types of modalities and practices and tools that also further assist us on our journey, such as journaling is good for releasing, breathing techniques, meditations, movements, different types of movements, being in nature as well is like really helpful, and also staying present and observing the self also helps a lot. Way number 3, how we can improve our energy, is to review our own boundaries within ourselves. Especially, for example, if we've noticed energy leaks. One example would be in terms of financial loss, or attracting financial leechers into our life. That's just one example. Boundaries are also important in context of, are we fully responsible for the life that we want to create, or we leave it at the mercy of others and hope that it will come. So responsibility and accountability is very, very important. Are we taking necessary action? Are we saying no to habits, choices, actions that no longer serve us? So this work also involves working on our self-confidence, our self-worth, getting clear who we really are and what we really want, and then go after it. So clarity is very, very important as well in this context of boundaries. Getting clear, having discernment. Clarity and discernment goes well hand in hand with being observer to yourself, because there will be times when the old self, the old identity, or the old patterns or old consciousness will try to again surface and will try to get your attention, your energy, so you would invest again back to the old ways, so you would revert back to the old self. It will try to do that from time to time. I mean, if you have been able to shift your behavior for a longer time, then it will happen like less and less, like on rare occasions. But in the beginning, when you are shifting, it will happen more, because your new identity or your new boundaries will be tested, your new habits will be tested, because they have not been like fully grounded into your beingness, into your new reality. So that's why it will be more challenging in the beginning. Way number 4, how to protect and improve your energy, is to stop consuming negative stuff, low vibrational stuff. And what I mean is more in the context of content. We know that the music industry or the movies industry, and especially mainstream media, they embody lots of negativity, and in lots of like Hollywood movies there is deeply encoded, hidden, subliminal negative broadcasting messages. So whenever people watch it, like, it conditions them in a negative way. So you have to stay aware from that and be aware that whenever we consume that type of content, like, it negatively, energetically impacts us. So yeah, one example is that, like, I myself notice is that often when I open some sort of video, or I decide to watch something like a movie or, for example, sport broadcast, I will feel at that instance in my body a very stabbing, negative, this painful feeling. Last thing that I remember is I tried to switch on an Olympic basketball game, and in the seconds I immediately felt how it was stabbing in my second chakra. Like, it was very painful and very unpleasant feeling, and I knew that's indication, okay, don't do this. And I stopped. But it doesn't have to be like like necessarily like these bodily sensations for you. It's just the knowing itself is enough. Like, what type of narratives are these contents promoting? And in most cases it's negativity, to keep you in the negative state, which becomes more difficult for us then to create what we want. Another thing that I wanted to add in context of consuming negative shit is that whenever we do that, we keep piling up and we suppress what's going inside of us, our unmet needs, and it becomes more and more difficult for us to then connect with ourselves and be us authentic, because that's a distraction. So way number 5, how to protect and improve your energies through your own well-being. Invest in your own caretaking, your own nurturing. So, are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you moving enough? Are you consuming inspiring and beneficial content? Are you engaged in a daily, like, spiritual hygiene practices, so that you can release all the shit that you gathered from the interaction from the others and external world? Are you doing that? Are you also distressing? Are you relaxing after the stress that you experienced? It's also very important. Way number 6, how we can protect our energy and improve, is to act on our own interest, our own joy and inspiration. And that comes in the moment. Because if we don't do that, we suppress that energy. And what we suppress and repress, that means that there is a potential that we will experience more anxiety, more depression, because we haven't expressed what we need to express in that moment. And this energy starts to clog up from the inside, and it starts to burn us from the inside. And we might experience even disease for not expressing ourselves. That can impact also us like negatively, like mentally and emotionally. Every time that we decide not to act on our inspiration, then we will feel low, and that can stir up the negative thoughts about ourselves, our ability to be able to achieve what we want. It can negatively impact our confidence, our self-worth in different ways. So it's very important to act on this interest, passion, joy, and inspiration, because that's our higher self communicating with us. Like, hey, go do that. Hey, explore this. Hey, this will lead you to the next step where you need to be, to the more optimal timeline. I have definitely noticed this, that if I haven't acted on for long enough time regarding things that I generally am interested in, I will start to feel like loss of energy, that I don't have enough energy, that I need to like rest more, even though the truth is that if I would start again paying attention to the things of my interest in that moment, when I feel loss of energy, often I will feel the return of the energy. I will again start to feel this excitement and enthusiasm returning, because I'm finally listening to myself, to inner self, my inner guidance. Hey, finally! 7th way how we can protect our energy and improve it is to do an exercise, make a list, make like 2 columns. On the left column, write down all the things, all the activities, choices, behaviors, environments, conditions, people, thoughts, topics, etc. that drain you, that pull you into negativity, in depressive mood. And on the right column, write the opposite. Things that energize you, things that make you feel joy, passion, expansiveness, inspiration, peace, that type of stuff. And the next step is then to go over all of the stuff that you listed in the draining things and see if you can change some of them, because you won't be able to change all of them for sure, but at least maybe you can change 1 or 2 of that list in a different way. That if you do that thing, that draining thing that currently drains you, in a different way, it would no longer be as draining or draining at all. If you cannot change these things that are draining you, then the goal is to start to remove them from your life one by one, because you won't be able to like remove all of them at once. Like, it will take time. Like, those can be your habits or something else. So work on that and build on that momentum. And at the same time, start doing more things that energize you, that stir up that joy, that childish joy of expression. So do that more, and I promise your energy will improve drastically. Thank you for watching and listening, and if you enjoy this type of content, this video, I'd love for you to press a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next videos.